Welcome to the Fit 450 podcast, featuring your host, Lee Phillips.
Good afternoon. This is episode 8 of the Fit for 50 podcast. Coming live to you from Glasgow city centre. It is a glorious day. It's 20 degrees. I've just been doing some filming with Tom Kennett for one of his products. And using Roxy, the super gym dog, Scottish dog Roxy. She was the star of the show. Stay tuned for more information on that. So let's get started. There's a couple of things I'd like to talk about. One of them is talking about being inspired and inspiring others. And to be honest, there's tons of different things that inspire me, and I think it just depends on what aspect of life I'm looking at that particular time, or as I say, what lens I'm looking through. For example, sometimes when I'm in the gym, there's a guy in there called Stringer. Stringer's just retired, so in his early 60s or thereabouts. But he is super duper fit, he's super strong, you never hear him complaining. Even when he's carrying some kind of injury, he just keeps working. He's an absolute machine. And then I'm sitting puffing and moaning and worrying and thinking to myself, oh, I can't do it. In actual fact, of course you can do it, right? Take inspiration from the likes of Stringer, take inspiration from anyone who pushes themselves and gets the results. You only get the results if you're going to push yourself. You can't just sit back and expect them to happen. So loads of stuff inspire me. My kids inspire me, my wife inspires me, basketball players inspire me, other filmmakers inspire me to be better at whatever that thing happens to be. And I always feel that I do all the kind of being inspired part, and I don't really think about stuff that I do that actually inspires. And it was actually a comment that was off the back of my WhatsApp chat with my sister-in-law, Dr. Katie Phillips, and she was actually saying that just listening to the podcast is inspiring both her and my brother to look at their kind of lifestyle and what they're doing and what changes they could do to make them better, whether it's health changes or I don't know, whatever. And I never thought for 1 second that I would actually be inspiring others. But there you go, and I just wanted to call them on that, because that actually makes, even if I never did another episode ever again, it just makes those 7 or 8 episodes absolutely worthwhile. Because if the stuff you're doing to make yourself better inspires others to take stock of themselves and improve, then well, we're on to a winner right there. So hopefully, fingers crossed that the next few podcasts, if we keep doing them, inspire others. I switched the aircon off in the car and it's absolute roasting, so hopefully the background noise isn't too bad once I stick it back on. But I'm sweltering. It's like a mobile sauna. I've kept my clothes on for it though, obviously, because nobody needs to see that. Big sweaty boobies, big sweaty man boobies as I'm driving through Glasgow getting arrested for having my boobs out. It is tap-tap weather, but I'm not at that stage yet, let's put it that way. So the other thing, I got a message on LinkedIn. So I've basically been pimping this podcast out anywhere and everywhere. Just, I obviously want to get the word out. Obviously, I want this to be successful. And so I stuck it on LinkedIn. New episodes dropped, and one of the guys I used to work with when I was at Dell many moons ago, but I've kept in touch with him, is a guy called Christos, and he was asking me about nutrition. So he's doing rowing, so he wants to get his nutrition right. So I think I mentioned, I'm not sure which episode it was, where I started to talking about using MyFitnessPal. Bear in mind that I'm not endorsing MyFitnessPal. I'm just giving you a tool that I use that I find works brilliantly for me. It only works if you do it truthfully, though. I don't like second guess or guess what quantities of something you're using, because at the end of the day, this is all about calorie deficit, and I'm going to come back to something about calorie deficit in a minute, because so calorie deficit and exercise are the two key things to helping you lose weight, and that's one of my goals, is to lose a certain amount of weight. I'm still sitting around the 12-pound loss, so which is okay. You don't have to lose weight every week, because you can lose it in other ways. You can lose it in inches, but so nutritionally speaking, I'm trying to avoid, where possible, eating junk food, because what happens is it's over salty, it's over processed, and it doesn't taste no good in the long run. It's not healthy for you. Trying to get natural protein as much as I can through things like chicken and all that kind of stuff, chicken or other meat products. Again, I couldn't advise you on vegetarian or vegan options, or fish, because fish is fucking revolting in my mind. So you're getting no help on that one. Fish has one place and one place only, in the sea. That's it. Simple as that. Alcohol. I said I would not drink. That's not necessarily been the case. I have participated in a few drinks. It's empty calories though, so but you still got to track it. If you say it doesn't matter, and you have 2 drinks, that could be 60 calories over your limit. It could be 200 calories over your, it could be 1,000 calories over your limit, and then you're not losing any weight, and you think to yourself, why not? Well, it's as simple as the empty calories in your alcohol. But what I find is the destructive part of the alcohol is not necessarily the alcohol itself, which it's got its own rules and laws and stuff about how good or bad for you it is. I'm not even having that as a discussion. That's not the point. It's the munchies that I get if I start to drink. Just is literally, you're wanting crisps, you're wanting sweets, you're wanting fucking sandwiches, a cheese sandwich at 1:15 in the morning. Like, why? You're just destroying all the work you've done. So trying to limit that kind of stuff is absolutely critical. Getting the right amount of protein is so important in any weight loss program, because you're needing the protein for muscle growth, to help your metabolism. I'm not going to go into again the science behind it, because I don't fully know it all. I just know that if I want to lose weight, I want to get stronger, I want to be eating a good amount of protein with a balance, and the big word there being balance, in how many carbs you're putting in. And so this is not a sales pitch for a low carb diet, far from it. We need carbs for energy, but it's about having the right carbs, having good fibre in your diet, or not diet, but your food intake. Oh, is it the World Pipe Band Championships? Because there's pipers and drummers at Glasgow Green. That's what's happening this weekend, folks. Get your tickets at the ticket booth for pipes and drums and stuff. So balance is key. Things like wholemeal bread versus white bread. If you're going to have bread, I've been eating this, I think it's a Warburton's bread, and it's a wholemeal bread. It's 55 calories a slice, whereas the normal bread I would have is 93 calories. So you go, I can almost have 2 slices of that to 1. And I like my toasted cheese, so I have the low fat cheese, the 50% cheese, Asda one better than the Aldi one. It's actually got quite a lot of protein in it. Not a lot of fat in it, which is good. And very, very few carbs, which is even better. So you're almost doing a low carb thing without needing to do low carb, because you're still having carbs through your bread. The balance, because your body needs all this stuff to burn in the furnace, to burn the fat, to get stronger, all the kind of sciencey stuff that in biology lesson I don't know enough about. But processed stuff, not great. Try and avoid that where possible, because it's unbelievable the amount of sodium that gets hidden in your food, and sodium's not great. I don't add salt to anything. Yeah, I'd be one of those weirdos if I was at the chippy, let's talking about balanced diet, chippy and a Diet Coke, I would not have salt on my chips. Vinegar, hundreds. Drown those motherfuckers. Salt, no thanks. Just never really been a huge fan of putting salt in everything. I think it was because as a kid growing up, mum salted the potatoes, and then once you had them out, put more salt in them, and just everything was salt-tastic. And it was when you went cold turkey and stopped having salt in when potatoes were getting made, that's like massive difference. I eat a good portion of fruit and veg. Probably need to eat more veg, but I like bananas, I like apples, grapefruit's brilliant. Coffee wise, and I'm going to put this in as a plug for my good friends Rab and Dawn over at pureroasters.com for all your roast and ground coffee needs. I will be plugging them. That's my coffee of choice at the moment. I'm drinking a dark blend, not right now because I'm in the car, but I'm drinking a dark blend called Heavy Goff, and it is brilliant. I love a strong coffee. I just get it ground up, chuck it in the filter machine, and drink all day. Start off with some milk in it. So again, you got to count that as well. So if you're putting in 100 mils of milk, put it in because it's calories. But then I switched to just black coffee after that. Another thing that's super, super important is hydration, especially before events. But just even on a general daily basis to flush out all the toxins. Yes, we need to go to the toilet a million times a day, but that's us flushing those nasty toxins out of our system. And that helps as well. It all helps with energy, it helps with your brain fog and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, 2 to 3 litres of water a day, super important, especially if you're going to be competing in any form of activity. So if I'm going to basketball, especially if it's a game, I want to have had enough hydration in me, because you don't drink enough during the actual session. So Christos was talking about rowing. I have no clue on rowing as a sport. I know it's water based, and they row and they go backwards, I hope. That's it. I used to do a bit of kayaking, but I'm not super well versed in the world of rowing. But you don't see them drinking too much because they have to row a lot. So being hydrated prior is way more important in that respect. So your body sweats out all that water, and then you can replenish it afterwards. Before the gym, I try and have a pre-workout. So it's got phenylalanine, I think it is, and all that kind of stuff. Again, it's great. It's got some caffeine in there and some vitamins and stuff like that. And creatine, which again, I need to get better at taking more creatine every day, because creatine is great for building muscles and stuff like that. I'm not going to talk about supplements. As I say, I'm not an expert, and I'm not going to give you false advice or anything like that. This is just me and the stuff I do. hopefully that gives you a little bit of an insight. I'm going to try again. I'm still working. This is all just a brand new canvas that a new canvas I've started. So a lot of this stuff I'm refiguring out. I'm experimenting with as far as getting quantities right, and I speak with Scotty on some of the things I should be doing as far as pre-game routines, daily routines. I am going to try and stop eating after dinner, and just because that what happens, unless I've got the calories I need to eat it, then balancing that throughout the day so that you've not got thousands left after dinner, and then you're sitting there trying to cram 2 packets of cold meat down your gub just to hit your protein targets and your calorie targets, or eating crap just to do it. So alright, I'll eat 4 crunchies because that's hundreds of calories, and that'll be great, but it's not great because it's loads of sugar and it's loads of carbohydrates, and not really particularly nutritional. The nutritional value is a lot lower. There's some wee camera guy outside the Perspire stadium. Boo. So what was I was talking about calorie deficit. So calorie deficit it's just a simple algorithm, a simple mathematic fact that if you have more calories getting burned than you consume, then you're going to lose weight. But you need to exercise. You need to throw exercise into that, whether it's going for a walk, getting your 10,000 steps in, or whether it's attending classes. Lifting weights is always a good one. It's so heavy and stuff. It's weird how lifting weights, the biggest complaint is, well, they're too heavy. They're supposed to be heavy, and you get heavier ones and heavier ones and heavier ones until you're lifting those. And that's one of my goals. I want to hit 185 kilos on the trap bar deadlift. My PB's currently sitting at 182.5. Did that in the old gym last year. I want to get back at it and get that attempt in where I can do 185. Basically, why? Well, 1, I want to beat my PB, but 2, then I want to set a new goal of 187.5, and then 19, and so on and so on and so on. I want to lose the first stone. So all these things are only achievable if I put in place things to actually help me achieve them. So the Fitness Pal tracking, absolutely, as well as looking after how much I'm drinking, how much I'm exercising, how much I'm weightlifting, how much I am, even sleep as well. I had a terrible night's sleep. I was late to my bed. It was well after 1:30, up at 7, feeling really sluggish today. So that's something I maybe need to get better at as well, is getting to my bed a wee bit earlier, 11 o'clock at the latest, if I'm getting up at 6:20 for the gym or 7 o'clock for the school run. So little small changes often have huge results that are sometimes unexpected. This episode is nearly done. I am sitting around, 19 minutes. Jesus Christ, didn't expect that. Well, to be honest, that's because I'm just driving home anyway, so it's a 19-minute journey. But there we go, folks. Thank you for listening. Check out the fact that we're now on YouTube. We're on Apple Podcasts. We're also on Amazon Music as well as Spotify. And if everything's worked out the way I thought it was going to work out, it will mean that when I post it to Spotify, it should propagate into all the other online platforms. There's a big word for you to end this. So enjoy your Wednesday and speak to you on the next one. Bye.
Thank you for listening, and remember, clean your teeth.